Je vais parler de the cost that I have personally endured, at least in terms of physical stuff. I mean, since I've started to play the grand old sport of pickleball. Yeah! Hey, XenPuck here. So I skipped a week of making videos last week. Oh boy. Now, usually I only skip due to major holidays or the visits of friends and family because, well, those things disturb my normal rhythm, right? But last week was different. Oh boy, how unfortunately different it was. That is because I actually had a injury to contend with, and yes, it was a pickleball related injury. Let me tell you, it hurt like hell when it happened. So all of last week I was just kind of unfocused on anything but recovery. Yeah, I'm getting old, and that's probably why the recovery took a whole week. Yeah. Anyway, it did get me thinking though. I mean, I love pickleball and will likely never give that sport up at this point, but since I've started to play it, I've actually gotten quite a few injuries. Some context though, I need to repeat again, nothing I say in this clip will overshadow the fact that I love pickleball. So despite the injuries or ailments that are pickleball tangentially related, I'm still going to continue to indulge in the sport. But also, I'm not exactly what anybody would consider an athletic guy, okay? I mean, this can't be a surprise, right? After all, I did pick pickleball to play with. Okay, that's definitely a sport, but it's also a definitely toned down version of tennis, okay? Less physically demanding than its big bros in plenty of other racket sports, right? I figured, I'd share my injury experience precisely because lots of people who are into pickleball may also be into it because it is less physically demanding, right? So what are the risks? So let my pain be your gain, right? Okay, well, let's try it out at least. Anyway, if you enjoy some random rants from a dude with absolutely no production skills, clearly like, subscribe, share, comment, or whatever. I'll be regardless because I just do these for funsies. Hit that bell icon. I'm not really sure what that is after saying this all this time, but people who watch YouTube probably knows better than me, right? So first, my most common type of pickleball related injury, and I have an extra carry of this one. Okay, this is mostly due to how casual of a player I am. I am so casual that I'll admit that occasionally I take a bottle of what I'll call Long Island iced tea with me to the court. Adult beverages, I love it, and it makes all games funner. But that extra bit of drink does not mix well with outdoor hard courts and my desire to win even rec games. So yeah, I've gashed my knee on a few tumbles on outdoor courts. I think it's actually happened like 2 or 3 times at this point, right? Sliding on your knee outside will guarantee a bloody mess. And each time it's taken me out of action, for pickleball for at least a week each. Ugh, this is incredibly frustrating because usually I still feel like I can continue to play the game, if not for the whole bleeding from the leg thing, right? I mean, look, nobody else wants to look at that mess, despite my desire to continue, okay? It's a good thing I only play outdoors near my house, so I can just come on back in a few minutes walk time, right? Just thinking about these cuts make me very sad, right? Anyway, I did find a way to mitigate this type of risk though, and no, it is not drinking less tea, but to just play on indoor courts, right? I've taken a few indoor courts on gym-style floors as well, and guess what? Never been opened up by any one of those spills yet, right? If only it was easier to find indoor pickleball courts, but that's another story for another day. Now, up next is my most long-lasting injury, and frankly, the most disgusting. That is apparently athlete's foot. My goodness, this was foul. I lost basically both of my big toenails, most of those 2 big toenails, because of fungal growth or whatever you call it that's underneath them, right? This actually freaked me out. I even went to a podiatrist. My lord, it took forever to get a podiatrist appointment because it wasn't really an emergency since it didn't hurt or anything, but by the time I saw the guy, both of my big toenails are pretty much gone, right? I went to the podiatrist, it's just for peace of mind, so once he told me it's just athlete's foot and common for people who exercise a lot, I mean, strangely, I was kind of proud of that. I mean, seriously, for a nerdy kid like me, athlete's foot? Really? I can pretend I'm an athlete now? Okay, not really. But what I did learn is apparently I have to take much better care of my toenails if I'm going to be regularly playing pickleball, or really anything that does involve a lot of running, right? Because apparently running may lift the nail off the bed and let fungus in there and cause the damage that it caused me. Okay, the discoloration was totally freaky, and this whole thing, good lord, it takes like several months for an entire toenail to grow back. So lesson learned. Okay, I'm definitely way more careful now. Finally, last but not least, this most recent and most painful pickleball related injury, and that was a straight up rolled ankle. Okay, this happened very recently. I actually recall the feeling extremely well, right? I definitely wasn't even having my tea that day, and this was on an outdoor court, and I wasn't even chasing a loose ball or a possible in-game winner or anything like that. Instead, I was just turning my body faster than they could handle to look at a fly ball. And somehow I tripped over myself, and good God, at the time I felt like I just planted in that single spot on the court for what seemed like an hour. But of course, in reality, it was only tens of seconds, but holy crap, did I then have to limp home immediately and had to follow that experience up with a whole week's worth of feeling gimpy and limping around the house. It's during times of these debilitating injuries that I'm so extra thankful that I don't have to go to an office, okay? I don't have to go to work. I don't need to limp around, some other foreign place for, can you imagine if I was still at work, I'd have to take like a week or two off just because of a limp. That would never happen, okay? I would never waste sick days on a limp, but instead I would just suck it up. But these days, every day is a Saturday to me, or a vacation day, so at least my recovery is pretty chill. So, in conclusion, obviously, I get none of these injuries that I've described are specifically because of pickleball, the sport. But it's more like about sports in general, right? Sure, I've gotten these minor injuries or ailments, but I'm going to keep going back to the sport because its physical demands are still on the lower end comparatively to any other sport, right? A week or two's recovery at best, and I'll be back playing. How about the rest of y'all? What minor sports injuries have you had to endure or are most proud of as a badge of honor? Heck, I'm so new to the world of sports that I still giggle at my athlete's foot prognosis. Me, an athlete. More like a mathlete, right? Okay, cheers. A la Proshin.